Hello and welcome to another feature presentation of the Wrestling Babble podcast, joined as always by the man of the hour, Mr. Wednesday night, not Monday night, because we had him on the live podcast on Saturday, John Jones. It's Dan and I'm Gaz, and we are here today to talk about Survivor Series, which took place this past Sunday, which was November the 20th, from the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Canada. The first time Survivor Series has been back in nearly 20 years. You think next year, boys and girls, if you're not clued up on your dates, like this nerd is, next year will be 20 years since the Montreal Screwjob.
And this year was the 30th Survivor Series, the 30th annual Survivor Series.
And was it the 25th? Was it the 25th or 26th? No, 25th anniversary of The Undertaker.
Yeah.
So Survivor Series this year was a lot different than a usual Survivor Series of late, because it actually featured traditional Survivor Series matches, which was
is
nice.
good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
If I had my way, if I was Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the Meek Man,
the Meek Man,
I would book the whole thing like they used to, like they did in the 80s. The whole thing. There was no world title match. There was just your teams.
Yeah.
You know, I think
and they'd all have team names.
Yeah. You could have Kevin Owens, and the prize fighters and...
Or Kevin Owens and the best friends.
Yeah, and Seth Rollins and the architects. Or, the laughing policeman or something, I don't know. I don't know. But, it was the first one for a long time that had multiple Survivor Series rules matches.
Yeah.
And it was not too dissimilar from the old Bragging Rights pay-per-view where it was the brands facing off against each other. So you had the singles brand match, you had the women's brand match, and you had the tag team. The tag team was...
we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But straight in with the Survivor Series pay-per-view, we were straight in with the women.
Yeah.
That was a nice way to kick it off. I mean,
yes.
The last pay-per-view we had the women headlined, which I thought broke all sorts of ground. Not even on a wrestling... not even from a wrestling point of view.
From a sports point of view.
Yeah, from a sports point of view, from a culture point of view.
Yeah.
The last few years, women are becoming more and more empowered. What was it? The Sister Sledge said we're coming out of the kitchen and we've got something to say to you.
So they're not coming out of their shells?
No, they're definitely not doing that. They're definitely not.
Coming out of their shells.
Jesus. What did you think of the ladies' Survivor Series match?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was very, very good. You had all the... It was funny for me anyway because you could see they got rid of the... I don't want to say less talented, but the less... What's the word I'm going to use? They use the less kind of... ring-aware ladies, shall we say. They got rid of them quite quickly in the match, which I think everyone wanted, to be honest. You got rid of Alicia Fox quickly and all the ones that nobody wanted. I thought the Nikki Bella sort of, she got injured. Oh, come on. Yeah, I thought that was silly. And we all know probably what's going to happen. It's going to end up being, it was Natalia all along and it was all hers and it's going to tie into some storyline on Total Bellas or something like that. I thought that was the only thing really that let me down on the match. But in general, it was a great action-packed match, which really did well to open up the show. They couldn't have picked a better group of people to open the show. Definitely
not. And ironically, ran longer than the main event.
Yeah.
Clocked in at 17 minutes and 30 seconds. And to be honest...
Didn't feel like it.
No, there was none of that match where you thought, well, this is just boring.
Yeah. It kept going and going and going, and it was good. It set up things for future. It made you realise how good the horsewomen are together, because we got... I think, was it...
We got them all.
No, but in the ring we got... I think it was Becky and Bayley, I think? Or was it Sasha and Becky? I can't remember who it was. It was two of them in the ring together. I'm pretty sure it was Becky and Bayley, and they were doing like reversals and all sorts on it, and it was just wow, yeah.
Really good.
This is what we're missing, and this is the kind of stuff we need to see more. So I kind of hope they do the kind of versus thing a little bit more. Maybe do it at another show, because I'd love to see more of the horsewomen against each other. Yeah, more of that, please. More of that, please. I miss it dearly.
Yeah, because usually matches like this with feature all of the female superstars, it's usually reserved for Raw, where it's like, right, we'll chuck all these in, you've got 10 minutes. Like we said before, it's usually a case of, right, you've got 10 minutes, you've got to get down the ring, tell your story, and piss off so we can get Roman Reigns out again.
Yeah.
But it was nice to see them all there, you've got your allotted time slot. It's not a 10-minute squash, crack on. The person who impressed me the most, and I'll be honest with you, in this match, and I've been sort of, well, I'm not going to use the phrase riding her ass a lot because that's a bit rude. Been giving her a lot of flack on this show is Nia Jax.
Yeah.
I thought this showcase, it wasn't just a straight out 2-minute squash match.
No.
It showcased her as a formidable force.
This is what I was about to bring up as well about this, was because they had the longer time, it gave them a chance to showcase other people. Like, you had Alexa Bliss getting some time. You had Carmella getting a little bit of time. Like you say, Nia Jax getting a little bit of time. And it was good because it gave those ladies a chance to show off a bit more, which is something they don't get to do.
No.
And it made you look at these ladies who probably before then you thought, why is Alexa Bliss going for Becky Lynch's title? She's got no chance.
Yeah.
Whereas now you saw them in that and you're like, hang on a minute, these are people I've got to watch now because these could be something to look out for in the future.
Interesting finish for the fact that Bayley picked up the win.
Yeah.
And then she got sort of sandbagged by Charlotte.
Setting up a future rivalry.
Yeah, but then after what happened on Raw, where you're thinking, well, yeah, it is going to set up a rivalry, and it's sort of like, Bayley did a bit, but let's bring Sasha Banks back. I mean, all right, I would say, I'm going to go out on a limb to say that Sasha seems a lot more confident in the ring as far. I mean, Bayley worked amazing. We've referenced it before, the NXT matches that they had. But as far as working with other people, I think Sasha Banks looks the more competent of the two.
But what's to say they don't want to do the whole, right, Sasha's going to win the title next week on Raw. Bayley's going to come clawing.
That's true.
And they're going to want TakeOver Brooklyn matches. They're going to want it. So I'm not surprised. But we'll see what happens next week on Raw.
We'll see. Tune in next week on Raw.
Yeah.
Following up this women's battle for brand supremacy was the interestingly billed Intercontinental Championship match, which was originally Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn.
Yes.
But
which I was really looking forward to.
But Ziggler dropped the belt to the now 6-time Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, on the 900th episode of SmackDown, which is ironic because he won the Intercontinental title, I think it was the IC title, on the 1000th episode of Raw.
It was The Miz? Oh, right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's an interesting little tidbit for you. But backstage news says that the reason that Ziggler dropped the belt to Miz was so they could have a face-heel match.
Yes, I heard that.
So it's apparently Ziggler's got a rematch with Miz at TLC.
Yeah, it's a ladder match,
and he's gonna win the ladder match.
I hope so. I hope so because I was really, really upset when Dolph lost the title because I was looking forward to Sami Zayn Ziggler because I thought minds are gonna get blown for this.
Yeah.
And I love Dolph as a champion.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Oh, yeah.
I hate to do the thing everyone goes, but you deserve it. But he does. He really does. He's a workhorse. And he's the epitome of the IC title.
Yeah.
Like, when you think of the IC title back in, like, the 90s, it was known as the workhorse title.
Yeah.
And every match you would have for the IC title was, again, the workhorse show of the event. And Dolph Ziggler proves that because he bumps like a boss and he always pulls out all the stops.
Definitely.
He's the show-off for a reason.
Yeah. I don't like... I like and I don't like the way The Miz is booked. Because, alright, he's supposed to be the sneaky sort of... If anything, like sort of throwback heel where... You know, he has to cheat in order to get by and he's got his valet or his manager or whatever it is to interfere and stuff like that. And, you know, it's clever because they just seem to be coming up with new ways for him to do it all the time. But you kind of think, well, all right, they're doing their job. You know, people are hating The Miz because he's a cheat and he's a liar and this, that, and the other. But the guy is much more than that. The guy is a fantastic wrestler.
I don't know, I like it.
No, like I say, I like it and I don't like it.
But the thing I like about it is Miz is obviously now getting a chance to show off his wrestling.
Yeah.
Because it proved the point when he came out at Survivor Series. There was audible cheers for him. And that's a big thing because people before then would just sandbag him.
Yeah.
Whereas now, people are now going, hang on a minute. I like this guy. There's something about, like, people are like, I hate him because he's taking titles away from people I like, but I can't help but like him, which is nothing but a good thing for him because he's getting his chance to show his obvious wrestling talent, like you said, from obviously harking back to when he fought Cena at Mania and blah, 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 all that stuff. But he's also playing the perfect role as the classic heel. So he's got it all.
It's like I've said for a while now. I think he is one of, if not the best heel in the company.
I think he is the best heel in the company.
Let alone just on SmackDown.
Yeah, I think he's the best heel in the company.
He's fantastic. He does his job really, really well because he gets under people's skin. And I know people who are interested like, I hate The Miz. It's like, well, he's doing his job.
Yeah, he's doing his job, exactly.
Not the most memorable match in the world, I'll be honest with you. An interesting yet slightly controversial finish for the fact it was the whole Montreal screw job all over again with the bell being rung at the end.
That was interesting. I liked the finish. It was
it was topical.
Some people would say, "Oh, it was controversial," blah blah blah, because it was done in Canada and all that stuff, and it was done against a Canadian.
Yeah.
Don't forget that Sami Zayn's a Canadian, but it was really clever. It was a clever finish. And I liked the finish. I thought it was really, really clever. It was one of those finishes where it was like, actually, I wouldn't say it came quite quickly because the match kind of built. So there was some good storytelling in the match because obviously you had The Miz being his devious ways and Sami Zayn being the underdog from the underground, doing the whole all that shtick and obviously clawing his way back and all that stuff. And when you think, oh, he's got the win, then they pull the rug from underneath you. And I thought it was really clever. Yes, the wrestling itself wasn't too memorable. It wasn't like Miz Ziggler. Those matches were legendary now. But it was still a good match.
I think I put it down to the fact that Sami Zayn wasn't wearing a luchador mask and wrestling in front of 15 people.
Possibly.
Because let's be honest, that's where
he had the wrong name to begin with.
Well, yeah. And when he's wrestling against Kevin Steen, I don't know who this Owens fella is, but when he's wrestling Kevin Steen, he works better.
Oh, yeah, of course he does. With Tyler Dark or whatever his name.
Tyler Black.
Tyler Black, yeah.
Yeah, him as well.
Aye.
But we'll get to him later.
Aye.
Following the Intercontinental screw job.
Nice.
I got it in there. Was the giant 10-on-10 tag team match between Raw and SmackDown.
Match of the night.
I thought there was some amazing spots in this match, and I'll be honest with you, the team of the night for me was American Alpha.
As always.
Once again.
As always.
You had on Team Raw, you had the New Day, you had Sheamus and Cesaro, you had Enzo and Cass, the Shining Stars.
Couple haters.
And then you had Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, the Baldy Club.
Yeah.
And they were facing off against Team SmackDown, which was Slater and Rhino, the Hype Bros, American Alpha, the Breezango, which according to OSW, their better name was Febreze, and the Usos. Yeah. Jimmy and Jay, bad guy Usos.
Yes.
Some amazing spots in this match. And I thought it was going to be a total clusterfuck. You had 20 guys stood.
That's what you said the moment they were coming down the aisles. This is going to be a mess.
I mean, you've only got to look at, I think it was Survivor Series 88. They did something similar with tag teams. And they was literally, like I said, the ring was surrounded by dudes.
Yeah.
But I like the fact they brought in the rule where if, for example, Luke Gallows got eliminated, the whole team left.
Yeah.
I like that. That made things much more better. For me, like I said, American Alpha would team in a match, but Chad Gable. What? Give that man a can of Coke.
Oh, yeah.
What a guy. Not only has he got a winning haircut.
Oh, yes.
He's just,
And he seems an all-out good guy.
Yeah, what a workhorse. What a dude.
Being willing to say, hey, chuck me over that rope.
Yeah.
Go on, let's see what happens.
And he just went.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I'll be honest, I thought he landed on his head a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yeah, but Bit of an interesting one for the fact that the New Day got eliminated first.
I think it was to prove that the whole thing of one mistake and you're out of there.
Yeah, or maybe even, because, I mean, let's be honest, they can't get over any more than they already are.
No.
But then you look at some of the teams in there, you're doing the same with the Usos, really. You look at, like I say, Alpha, Febreze.
Well, Febreze were gone quickly.
Yeah, but they're not as sort of
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
But it's a case. I think it was just a case of, right, if we get rid of the main guys, then these chaps can have a go and sort of get their 10 minutes. Because you don't see your American Alphas and your Febrezes fighting as often and featured in as many storylines as the New Day.
No.
So it's nice to see them get a little bit of time. Obviously, Thingy went over in this match.
Or maybe they realised that if they kept Big E around, he'd take up too much space on the apron.
Yeah, and he'd just be trying. Let's face it, that's
trying to lick everyone.
19 people that he can lick,
I
and
know.
nobody needs that in their life.
No.
I mean, Team Raw went over Team SmackDown in this
Again.
match again, again, because they are the dominant flagship.
I kind of said that before we started watching. I said, I bet Raw are going to win a good majority of these because they're the flagship show. They don't want to make the flagship show look like shit.
No, that's an interesting thingy, to be fair, but it's just a bit daft, really. You know, let's just all have a nice time.
Yeah.
Another interestingly forgettable match, which was a bit of a, even though it clocked in at 12 minutes and 25 seconds, for me was a waste of time for the ending, was Kalisto versus the Brian Kendrick, with the Cruiserweight division on the line. If Kalisto was to beat the Brian Kendrick, the Cruiserweights would move over to SmackDown.
I really thought Kalisto was going to take this.
I did as well.
I really thought
Because they seemed,
would.
like we said on the night, they seem to be flip-flopping that belt everywhere.
Yeah. And now we got another person who's in the run for the title. It's on 205 Live.
That, I think, is going to be an interesting show, because I think something like the... Because let's be honest, to an extent, it is an acquired taste.
Yes.
Because it seems to be... You've got, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 personalities in the Cruiserweights. You've got Brian Kendrick, you've got TJ Perkins.
And Rich Swann.
Yeah, you've got a couple of personalities.
Yeah.
The rest are just... I'm not taking away from what their talents.
They're there to be wrestlers.
Yeah, they're there because they're talented.
And Tra likes them.
Cruiserweights, and they're brilliant at what they do.
Yeah.
But then they haven't got the personality of your Seth Rollins, your Kevin Owens, your Cesaro. No, they haven't got characters yet. So I think the Cruiserweights needed its own show, and thank God it's got its own show every night on Monday after Raw.
I thought it was Tuesday.
I don't know.
Yeah, Tuesday after SmackDown.
Oh yeah, after SmackDown, isn't it?
Yeah, because that was where the theory came of, why is it on Tuesday after SmackDown? So...
Yeah, it'll probably get recorded on the same thingy as Raw in the same arena and everything. Yeah. Or it'd be interesting.
No, it's 205 Live, remember?
Ah, yeah.
So it'll probably recorded after SmackDown.
Or why don't they just go the whole hog and chuck it in? Mind you, saying that it's a touring brand, isn't it? Pretty much the 205. I think it would have benefited from being at Full Sail.
Yeah, I think so
from where NXT is, because you get that sort of following like they did with NXT. You look at the NXT crowd; that is a loyal following.
It's rabid.
Yeah, that is they are legendary marks. Like so I think it would have benefited from something. But I digress. Forgettable match.
Yeah, it was.
I wouldn't even say it was a run-of-the-mill luchador match, because I thought Kalisto made a lot of mistakes. Kendrick is just fancy. You can see why they brought him back.
Yeah.
Because the guy is alright. He's not as high-flying as the other I keep calling them luchadors. The other cruiserweights, but bugger me, there's no one for me that can tell a story like Brian Kendrick.
Well, he knows his character.
He's fantastic.
I'm going back to this again because he knows his character really well, so he's made his wrestling style suit his character.
Yeah.
He's kind of the sleazy heel.
And all that was wasted basically on the fact that Baron Corbin attacked Kalisto and ended the match.
Yeah.
I like Corbin. We've
said it before.
Yeah, I like Baron Corbin. I think he's got future champion. Maybe not heavyweight champion. I don't know if he's ready for that yet, but I think he will hold a belt.
US title maybe.
Yeah, something like that. I think the guy's brilliant, but you think, why are they putting him in with Kalisto? Or is it a case
maybe
of...
Vince wants him to look big?
Yeah, possibly, but there you go.
That's all I can think, maybe, is that Vince wants him to look big. That's all I can think of.
You'd have thought they'd have done some sort of cross thingy and put him in there with Strowman.
Yeah. Oh, God, Vince would have loved that.
Oh, yes.
Oh, he would have been loving every second of that.
Yeah. But in mentioning Braun Strowman,
Yes.
our next match was the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match between Team SmackDown, which was the phenomenal AJ Styles, the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose, the Viper, Randy Orton, and is he the chairman or the commissioner of SmackDown?
The commissioner.
The commissioner of SmackDown, Shane McMahon, and the eater of pies, Bray Wyatt, with the man himself, James Ellsworth, as their mascot.
Yes.
They were against the prize fighter, the Universal Champion Kevin Owens.
His best friend,
Chris Jericho. The big dog Roman Reigns. The architect Seth Rollins. And as they kept referring to him as the nuclear weapon, Braun Strowman.
Got it. In case you were wondering, I did get the Chris Jericho t-shirt. What did I say on a couple of podcasts ago? They need to make a t-shirt where it says, "You just made the list," on a t-shirt. And here it is.
Yes.
Looks like they listened.
Yes. And
or I'm just really good at anticipating what t-shirts are coming out by the Fed.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not the Fed. What do you call them these days? The company? No, you can't call them the company because that's crap.
The E.
The E. The big E.
The even bigger E.
Yes. The less sweaty E.
Yeah. This match, we even said on the night, this feels like a long match. This clocked in at 52 minutes.
It felt so long.
Yeah,
there was some good stuff in it. Don't get me wrong. But my God. This was long.
It made me laugh. The equalizer to Braun Strowman when they got rid of Strowman, because Strowman just went on like a rampage.
Oh yeah.
We thought he killed AJ.
Yeah.
He chucked AJ Styles out the ring, and the way Styles. I mean, I think if it wasn't for the fact that Styles cracked himself on the hardest part of the ring.
Oh yeah.
It could have killed him.
Yeah.
You know?
And we thought he was dead.
Yeah. He was just sort of.
And then all of a sudden you hear, "I'm not dead."
Yeah, he was just sort of there.
I feel happy.
He didn't go for a walk though, did he?
He didn't want to go in the cart.
And how do you equalise a monster? Like, he is basically the mountain of Game of Thrones.
Right.
Because he's you don't watch Game
No.
He's basically the mountain of Game of Thrones. And how do you equalise a man like that? He's not even a man, he's a monster. How do you defeat a monster?
Get an aging man to jump off the top rope and launch himself at him on a table.
But not even that worked.
I know.
Strowman still got up. He got elbowed by a mid-40s sort of Alan Williams lookalike, and he still got up. He got battered by everyone, and he still got up. So how do you eliminate an unstoppable force like Braun Strowman?
Tickle him.
You bring in
James Ellsworth.
Yes.
The mountain of a man himself.
Yes. For me, that was one of the best spots in the match. Because it wasn't even really a spot.
No.
He just sort of... You see Strowman, you're thinking, well, he can't. What's happening? He can't get in the ring, and you just see this little hand popping up.
His little baby hand.
Yeah, like a sort of Deadpool, sort of regenerated hand popping up from under the ring apron. And he was like, "What's going on?" And he pulled his feet, and then this little sort
of no chin wonder.
Yeah, just popped up from under the ring.
And in that moment, our hearts grew 2 sizes.
Yes. And who knew that boy would grow up to be
Roy Coleman?
Wow!
And now you know the rest of the story. Yes.
Brilliant. They've now given him a full-time SmackDown contract.
Yes.
Which is going to upset so many people.
And now he's got a chance at the title.
I know. But as has been predicted by friends of mine that I've spoken to, they think this is going to be some way of turning Ambrose heel.
Yeah, it's a good point. Because they may have him get ahead of Ambrose and get a title shot, and then Ambrose can go, "No, I'm not having this." Yeah, it's good. It's a very, very good point.
I'm going to knock the snot out of that alien who mated with a Loch Ness monster.
The thing I don't get right, all this hate on James Ellsworth, right? And I've said it before and I'll say it 1,000 times. As long as they keep him as an entertainment piece, I'm fine. The other thing I don't get is he's served his dues. He was on the independent circuit for a good
12,
while.
13 years.
Yeah.
The guy runs a wrestling school.
Exactly. So why don't people like him? He served his... People are like, oh, he doesn't deserve to be there. Well, he's served his time.
Yeah, he's wrestled for a lot longer than Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You know, he's probably paid as many dues as... All right, he obviously hasn't got the talent of your Seth Rollins and your AJ Styles and your Sami Zayn, your Kevin Steens and your Chris Jerichos and people like that. But, you know, everyone deserves a chance. I mean...
Every man with two hands
has a fighting chance. Yes. That's what we need up here somewhere.
Yeah. If anyone would like to donate a James Ellsworth t-shirt to us, we would love it.
Yeah.
If you want to buy us as a Christmas present...
We could stick it...
I know.
I wish we had a Bullet Club t-shirt that we could take down and
instead,
we could put Ellsworth up there instead.
Or you could take off your AJ Styles t-shirt and wear it instead.
Yeah, I could wear an Ellsworth t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I like that guy.
Yeah, so if anyone would like to donate a James Ellsworth t-shirt, you can buy them at www.shop.com. Don't buy them off Amazon, though, because if you search James Ellsworth t-shirt on Amazon, you'll get Shinsuke Nakamura merchandise. We don't want that.
No. Who was, in your opinion, the worker of the night in that match?
It's quite tough to say, really, because they all
played the part.
They all played their part. Because, I mean, Shane did his good bits, his daredevil bits that he always does, and then he got flattened by the big dog, which... Was it a work?
No. It was legit.
Oh, it was legit?
Yeah, it's as a mark. I read up on these sorts of things to see if they are storyline. But apparently... Because
I know
he kicked out and it was like, yeah, Shane's been eliminated. Apparently he didn't mean to kick out. It was just because he was in Cloud Cuckoo Land.
Yeah.
Because what they didn't show on the TV was as he left, it was carried out the ring.
Oh, Randy Orton
went to his kid and basically said, listen, your dad's all right. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So that, I thought, was a nice little break of character, considering he's supposed to be the evil member of the Wyatt family.
Oh, he does it all the time, though.
That was a nice little...
Orton's known for doing stuff like that. Because, I mean, there's a video on YouTube of... Randy meant to be out cold on the floor, and he just kind of gets up and looks around and goes, "Are we off air? Right, all right then." Yeah. And he just gets up and walks off. Yeah, he just gets up and walks off.
From the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. But it's quite hard to say really who was the workhorse. But
for a man of his age and his fitness, Shane McMahon again went above and beyond the Call of Duty.
You can't deny what Shane does in a match because he does an amazing job of what he does. But I think every single person in that ring did what they had to do, and it was great.
One of the highlights of the match for me was the use of a foreign object.
That was horrible.
Chris Jericho about to get Styles clashed by the Phenomenal One.
Yeah.
And
Kevin Owens runs in with the list of Jericho, smacks him, gets disqualified.
It was
Jericho then realizes what's
Jericho's
happened.
face.
Yeah.
You could see the realization setting on his face of my life's work.
My 1,000 monkeys.
It was basically Tommy Pickles getting 3 babies and a guitar knocked over on Rugrats by Angelica.
Oh yeah.
It was the realization on his face of and then he's like scrambling to pick out. But what I didn't like was, as you could see him leaving, in the background, the very, very back of the shot, you could see Orton ripping up pages.
Oh.
That should have been at the forefront, you know. And then Jericho sort of getting upset because these pages are getting ripped up.
That was the only thing that whole segment was missing, was Jericho crying.
Yes!
Whenever Jericho cries, I lose it. Because it's so hilarious to watch.
Oh, it's brilliant. It is brilliant. Jericho.
Like when you've seen, I think it was when Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho won at SummerSlam against Enzo and Cass. Jericho kind of faked a cry. Oh, it was brilliant. It's so good.
Yes.
So next time
needs more tears.
Needs more tears, Jericho. That's my advice to you, sir.
Yeah, needs more tears.
Needs more tears.
But that brings us on after the SmackDown victory over Team Raw.
Yeah.
Which I'll be honest, I didn't see coming. Brings us to the main event of the evening. Now,
we'll probably talk about a lot longer than the actual match length.
As we were getting to the main event, we checked to see what sort of time we were looking at. And it was coming in at, like, I think the event itself was 3 minutes, 26 seconds. 3 minutes? Oh, it's longer than the
No.
event. 3 hours, 26 minutes was the length of the event.
Yeah.
And we're getting to, like, 3 hours, 5 minutes and thinking, well, the Survivor Series match is still on. What's going to happen here?
Yeah.
And then the main event, there was the big lead up.
Yeah.
All of the
lead up, the VT was longer than the match.
Yeah, going on about Goldberg's glory days, and Lesnar has basically demolished everyone he's ever got in a ring with. He conquered the Taker streak.
Yep.
He conquered Cena. He left Randy Orton a bloody mess. He's the most decorated combat athlete in the world.
Ever, amen.
You know, Goldberg went on a 172 match winning streak. You know, he defeated Hollywood Hogan to bring down the NWO in WCW to bring the title back to WCW. It's his first match in 12 years. There's no ring rust. He still looks good for a man of 50. And then 1 minute and 26 seconds later, it was all over.
Yep.
There are reasons why the match was as short as it was.
Yes.
The main one being that Goldberg tweaked his shoulder in the go-home show for Raw, and also for the fact it's come out that he apparently didn't take his training as seriously as he should have.
Right.
As far as getting... I mean, you think, if you haven't done something for 12 years, you can't just train for a couple of weeks and think, I'll be alright, he'll be alright.
Yeah.
But, interesting sort of... And we say this a lot on this podcast, almost sort of 80s super baby face feel to the match.
Yes.
In a sense that it was a case of Lesnar steamed in, you know, the beast that he is, hit his sort of move that's taken out countless opponents since he's been back, and it didn't faze Goldberg.
No.
And if anything, I don't think they could have planned for the reaction that the crowd gave, because the crowd were booing Lesnar. They were going apeshit and marking out for Goldberg. And when Lesnar picked him up in that double leg, slammed him into the corner, and Goldberg just sort of popped up.
And pushed Lesnar down.
The place went insane.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, we could have asked for a slightly better match.
It was like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better reaction from the crowd. You really couldn't have.
No.
To see Lesnar happily put him over like that. I mean, all right, Brock Lesnar he's about the business, you know, and he obviously sees the potential. I know Goldberg come out and said, you know, not only are you next, but you're last. I've got one more match in me.
Yeah.
But you know, your last has, and to quote Wrestle Talk, your last has kind of become once in a lifetime now.
Yeah.
Where they said Rock Cena was once in a lifetime, then it happened twice.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Lesnar has seen the potential to make a lot of money.
Well, let's put it this way. Goldberg's now, obviously, since that, apparently he had a talk with Stephanie, and Stephanie said, I know you had one last spear, and you had one last jackhammer, and what about one last title run? So he's put himself in the Rumble. Lesnar's going to be in the Rumble, so Lesnar's going to get another nice payday for being in the Rumble. Then you know something's going to happen, which is going to cause possibly Goldberg to get knocked out of the Rumble by Lesnar, and then Lesnar will also get knocked out.
I'm hoping...
Which will lead to a Mania match.
Well, yeah.
And the payday those two will get for Mania is astronomical.
I'm hoping for a sort of Sid Justice Hulk Hogan thing here, where Lesnar puts out Goldberg goes mad and pulls him over the top, and then they brawl to the back.
And that was schmoz.
The old Jim Duggan special, brawl to the back. Like.
Yeah.
I thought for a man who hadn't been in a ring for 12 years and fell over like somebody's grandpa, I thought he looked really good.
He was in shape.
He was in cracking shape, and I think when he hit them spears, You believed that, this man would go through you like an undercooked chicken.
You said it yourself. You're like, bloody hell, he still hits him hard, doesn't he?
Yeah. He'd go through you like a breeze block of pain.
Yeah.
And to hold up a man that, all right, I'm under no illusion that wrestling is real. And I'm under no illusion that it's, look at the power of this man lifting up this fella here. I know
they work together.
Having friends in the business, friend in the business, and an associate who's training to be in the business.
Yeah.
I know that it's a 2-man game.
Yeah.
Something.
It's like we've said time and time again. You're only as good as the partner you're with.
Yeah.
And if you've got a good partner, you can do good things together.
And I know in order to maximise sort of visual damage in a move, both guys have got to do it as safely as possible and as well as possible.
Yes.
But for Lesnar to get thrown up in that jackhammer and held... All right, he wasn't held for as long as he's held Big Show and people like that, but that was 20-odd years ago.
Yeah.
To hold up Lesnar the way... A dead weight like Brock Lesnar, to hold him up the way he did for that brief moment of time and then take him down the jackhammer, the guy still got it.
Yeah.
He still got it.
Yeah.
But that was Survivor Series.
Yes.
The 30th anniversary Survivor Series from the Air Canada Arena in Toronto, Canada, from November the 20th, which was a Sunday night. 4-hour event, which was 3.5 hours.
Yep.
Overall, how did you feel the event went?
I thought it was good. Considering it was a 3-hour event, well, it's supposed to be 4 hours, it ended up being 3.5. When it initially started, I thought, oh, good, it's not 4 hours. But saying that, though, it's only WrestleMania is the only one that's kind of let the 4-hour thing down because SummerSlam was good. Yeah,
SummerSlam I thought showed Mania how to do 4 hours.
Exactly, and this kind of did it again. So I think it was a good show. There was some great wrestling on display, a couple of forgettable matches, but that's what happens sometimes. Not everything's perfect. Not everything is glorious.
No.
But yeah, I thought it was a really good show. Looking forward to the Royal Rumble because hopefully we'll get some more. The Intercontinental title, is it going to Raw or is it going to SmackDown? Hopefully we'll get that again.
Yeah. I mean, for a 3 hours and 16 plus 1, so it made 326. The only time I thought it really dragged was in the singles men's because it was so long. But obviously it had to be that long because the main event was so short. But all in all, I thought it was a successful Survivor Series.
It was.
It went over really, really well.
Yeah.
Obviously now that we've got the fourth of the big four out the way, we've got TLC and Roadblock left.
Yep.
And then we're Rumble on the road to WrestleMania.
One thing I wanted to quickly mention before we close out the show, and it kind of ties in because obviously we've had 30 years of Survivor Series now, so we've got a lot of events to look back on. Because I was going to sort of say to people as kind of like a questions go this episode is what was your favourite Survivor Series event of the past 30 years? But one idea we did have, and in case you didn't see it on the Wrestling Babble Facebook page,
and the actual poster
will be here.
Yes. And it took me ages to make that and get the colours right. I'm rather proud of the
font,
the mock showcase of the Immortal logo.
Yeah, but basically,
I'm available for freelance work.
When we did the live stream, it was kind of like a test the waters because we thought we'd never really done it. We did technically we did a test the waters. We did the Facebook one, but then the NXT one was the first proper full on test the waters. And it went relatively well because we had people from all over the world come and join. We had people
from country to country.
Country to country, all over the world, as the British Bulldog would say, join us in our madness and watch.
And it was good fun.
And watch Quark and you fall asleep.
Yes,
because I was the only one who survived. Click here to see that video. But we've decided that we want to do more live stream because it was fun to sit around and just, pardon the phrase, but shoot the shit with you guys on a live basis. So we decided that if you guys want us to do it, we'll go back and watch an old wrestling show. Yes, we will not show the video on the YouTube video, so you guys will have to source the event yourselves.
Yeah, whether you've got it on VHS in your mum's attic,
or on DVD, or on the
network, or whatever.
Yeah.
However you can watch. Or even if you've got a friend who is into wrestling but is not aware of the Wrestling Babble podcast, you can say to them, hey, you've got the network, you swine.
Yeah.
Let me come round your house. If there's some knobheads from Wrexham that talk about wrestling and love James Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Let me come round, and you can introduce your friends, and you can have, even if you put
you can have your own little party,
a streaming party.
Yeah.
You have a little party on the go.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Invite Perry Fenwick round as well, and drive round in your fast flashed car for pulling all the birds.
Yeah.
Get your mates, get a few tins of pop in, and have a nice time, and have 7 of your friends tear your house apart while we're on YouTube.
Exactly. So basically what we're proposing is to have a classic wrestling event watch party where we all watch the same event and we all just talk about it as the event's going along. We just talk maybe about the nostalgia we have for the event, or just generally talk about, the wrestling here is really good, and I remember watching this, and etc, etc. So basically we want you guys to tell us if you want us to do it, first and foremost, and then second of all, what event you want us to do first. We've had a couple of suggestions already. We've had WrestleMania X7, which would be really fun to do.
Oh, yeah.
We had, was it WrestleMania 10?
Yeah, we've had 10,
which
featured the Razor Ramon ladder match.
Exactly, that's the one I'm veering towards the most at the moment. But if you guys have got any other suggestions, it doesn't have to be a WrestleMania show, it doesn't have to be a Survivor Series show.
It doesn't even have to be a Fed show. If you want us to watch an old Starcade or Uncensored or World War 3 or anything.
Or even if you want us to get our eyes open to Ring of Honor or anything like that. Chuck it our way, and what we'll do is, once we get enough vote or suggestions in, if there's a couple which tend to be suggested a couple of times, we'll put a poll up on the page. When everyone votes on it, whatever wins, we'll watch, and we'll set a date and a time. We also want you guys to say as well what day and what time. Some people have said maybe a Saturday evening like we did for NXT. Obviously not as late, maybe around about 8 o'clock-ish. Another idea was to maybe do it on a Sunday afternoon.
The only thing about doing it on a Sunday afternoon, which to be honest is a nice little segue, is I wouldn't want to clash with our friends at Max Wrestling Podcast, because they chuck out a rather informative, lengthy and fun podcast every Sunday afternoon. Dazzy, Phoenix, Butcher, Roxy, they chuck out a fantastic wrestling podcast on a weekly basis every Sunday afternoon.
Our friend the Butcher's leaving.
But I think that's a work.
Right.
You can't keep the Butcher down.
No.
I think it's a work. I think you haven't seen the last of the Butcher. No. And the show wouldn't be the same without him. It would not be this without him having his crazy rants about all manner of things that he's not keen on, from people on the phone at Sky to talentless talent at the Fed. It wouldn't be the same without him.
And plus as well, they'll probably forget to lock all the doors and windows.
Exactly.
So he'll make his way back in somehow.
You've tried to lock your doors, but he's
already in.
Yes. So I don't know if I'll about Sunday afternoon, because I don't want to clash with the Max Wrestling guys.
Maybe we can make an agreement or something. A friendly agreement, a friendly truce.
I will think of something. We'll think of something.
But anyway, just chuck your ideas to us about the wrestling rewind, as we're calling it at the moment. But we'd love to do it, and we want you guys, because at the end of the day, as we've said time and time again, this isn't ours, this isn't mine and Gaz's thing. This is ours. This is ours.
We just happen to be the buggers.
we happen to be the captains of this rickety old dilapidated boat.
We are basically Kevin Owens and the Chris Jericho. Yes. Well, you've got a crap moustache and stuff, and I'm fat, so
I was thinking of keeping the moustache for a little bit. Yeah, I was to go for the. Then I could get everyone to drink it in, man.
Yes.
Try the moustache of Jericho. Fuzz it on, man. Anyway, we're rambling too long now.
Yeah. But that was on that bombshell. That was this time. I can't even say this month anymore because they're bombarding us with events every month. That was this episode of Wrestling Babble. Like we always say, check us out on Facebook. I'll spare you the spiel.
Oh, go on.
Wrestling Babble, we're a wrestling group on Facebook which covers all wrestling, new wrestling, British wrestling, American wrestling, Japanese wrestling, European wrestling, and everything in between. Old, new, modern, Fed, TNA, ECW, everything. We will add you to the group if you're not already a member of the group. Come in. We're a nice bunch of people. We talk about everything. We don't troll each other because trolling is crap. Yeah.
Get your micro machines now.
Exactly. Don't be a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
That was a crash test, dummies.
I don't care. I got a
the
bad
micro
eye.
machines man was a fast speaking.
Yeah, leave me alone. I got an Austin Aries eye right here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have a incident with Shinsuke as well?
I got kicked in the face by a
He
lizard.
sneezed on you.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to get pudding in my eye. Right.
Anyway, let's wrap it up now.
Yeah, we're off now.
losing it
So cheers for watching, guys.
Yeah.
Share it about. Keep giving us suggestions for Wrestling Rewind, and we'll see you at TLC.
Babble on.
Ta-da.